What's going on? Charles Bodenstein here, and I just want to make a quick video. I know I say that every single time, but this time I'm serious. So this is going to be a page directly out of Gary Vaynerchuk's playbook. And actually, giving credit is one of the things that I really, truly hope in the future, when it's 5, 6, 7 years down the road, that I keep on giving people credit, because you hear these speakers all the time, and they don't give the person credit. Tony Robbins doesn't give some of the credit to Jim Rome, and then other people don't give their credit to Gary Vaynerchuk or Grant Cardone or Les Brown or Tony Robbins. So this is straight out of Gary Vaynerchuk's book, and I said this last year, maybe a year and a half ago. And this is what you are. You are a brand. When I first started my company, that's what I said in my Facebook post. I said, first, you are a brand, and your brand is an extension from your personality. So your personality, people know you as the person that is always late, or the person that always brings good vibes, or the person that always brings food, or the person that always brings friends, or knows what's going on. Your personality, people know you as someone that gets straight A's, the health freak, the person that reads, whatever. You are already something in other people's minds. And that's made up of your personality. Your brand, so in other words, that's your brand. If you're into health, that's what you love posting about. If you're into sports or politics, which I hope you're not into politics that much, but that's what you post, and that's your brand. This is the thing is, you need to understand is that those three things are all connected, and I'm about to tell you the fourth part. So your personality, people see you as something which is based on your personality, all right? Your brand is your personality. The YouTuber, the self-development guy, the real estate guy, whatever. This is the biggest thing Gary Vaynerchuk said. He said, we are all creators, content creators first, all right? We create content, whether we're sharing content or we're producing original content. So sharing content is obviously reading an article and posting it on Facebook, or original content, which is Instagram or videos or Pinterest or whatever, or a blog post or anything, or you write a regular post, a text post on Facebook, doesn't matter, or Snapchat or Instagram stories, you are creating content. So you have to, this is all intertwined, because this is the future. I said this a year and a half ago, and I believed it. I knew this would happen, because when Gary brought it up, I was like, and then 6 months later, I was like, holy cow, I can control my brand, which actually, ironically enough, reverse engineers into your personality. So if you start posting things about health or politics or business or whatever, or your food, whatever you post on Instagram, look through your Instagram stories now, because you are literally, it's your personality, but what you post is now becoming your personality, because that's your brand. That's who you are. Your brand and your personality are the same thing now. And it's all based on the content that you're sharing on social media. So whatever you share on social media is becoming your brand, which is also your personality. All right. So I'll just give you a quick story. 2 or 3 years ago, there was these two guys. They weren't on Facebook. They were really good friends. They were neighbors, and for the longest time, I don't know, 15, 20 years. One guy became Facebook friends with the other guy, and then they noticed, and because they never talked about it, they noticed that they had very different political views. And ironically enough, that ruined the friendship, because they differed, and then they talked about it, and then they were like, we're never going to get over this, and they're so vehemently in their political views. So in other words, they knew each other's personality. This is a perfect example. They knew each other's personality, which is their brand. That's the nice guy, or that's the guy that always bakes cookies or whatever. And then they started creating or posting content, and they actually believed the content, And that became their brand. He's a Democrat. He's a Republican. He's a libertarian. He's a blah, 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 a socialist. He's a one percenter or whatever. What you post is now an extension of your personality, which is also your brand. So this is the series, and I actually just told this to one of my agents today, is that first, you are a content creator. That's what you are. First in life. You're a content creator because we're on social media. We're all on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and Pinterest and whatever else comes out into the world, the next social medium, we're that first. We're a content creator. Then we're our job, our passion, our brand. So in other words, I'm a real estate agent. Then I create content in self-development. I love sunsets and sunrises and buildings and views and everything else in New York City. Then, this is where the kicker is, I'm a son, I'm a brother, I'm a friend, I'm a nephew, I'm an uncle, all right? That's the insane thing, is that that's the way I want to be seen as. First is my job that I love, then my brand, and then who I actually am, all right? So this is the ironic thing, is when I first started in real estate, people said, you want to be known as a real estate agent first, and then a brother, a sister, an aunt, an uncle, a mom, a dad, whatever. So you want to be known as a real estate agent. When they think of Charles, they think of real estate. When they think of, and then they think of, he's also my friend, he's, we play hockey together. Now we're content creators. All right, we produce content and that's it. All of us, we're all content creators, we're all a brand, and then we're something else, all right? That's the world. That's the world we're living in, whether you agree with it or not. And there's some nuances and it's not perfect. I'm just saying you have to be aware. Number one is what you're posting, because that becomes your brand and that becomes who you are as a son, a daughter, a nephew, a neighbor, an aunt, an uncle, or anything else. So you have to be aware of what you're posting. And ironically enough, as I said it before, is if you start posting, that you're really into health and everything else, that's when you start getting negative feedback, when people are not into health or not into self-development or social media or being a Democrat or a Republican or saving money or not saving money or whatever you post. You're a content creator, which is your brand, and then you're that person, all right? And like I said, it's reverse osmosis, is that if you post it, you put it out there into the universe, it's gonna come back in some way. So watch what you post, because if you start posting negative stuff, that's actually who you are. And that's what I told my agent. I said, listen, I'm like, because the election just happened. I said, listen, I'm like, I understand that you don't like a certain candidate. I'm like, but the thing is, you want to be known, your brand cannot revolve around that candidate, all right? Because politics is it includes all of life. That's the only thing. If you're into saving dolphins or whatever, that's great, because that's saving dolphins. But politics is everything. It's social, it's money, it's who can marry, who cannot, it's pot, it's taxes, it's everything. And it's the establishment, it's the not establishment. I'm like, just avoid politics. That's it. Because that's your brand. We don't want people to screw with your brand, all right? Because you're the one that controls your brand. It's what you post is your brand, and then it's everything else, all right? So leave your comments below. I know it may be a little bit confusing, but it's super important. It really is. Because this is what my brand is. Someone that reads, someone that produces videos, a YouTube guy, whatever. Now that we just passed 1,500 subscribers, I can't just start blabbling whatever, because it's now starting to gain traction, all right? So leave your comments below, subscribe to the video if you haven't already. See you guys tomorrow, and let me know what kind of brand you either want to create or if you disagree with me, because obviously, not only are you welcome to, but I encourage it, because that's really how I grow. So have an awesome day. Talk to you guys soon.